A big game tonight in Class 3A Region 1 District 2 as one team fights for a district championship with another team fighting for its playoff lives. Hello everyone, I'm James Brandenburg alongside Jason Frank on the campus of Warren Central High School. We're at Dragon Stadium and Coach Joe Hoodfield tonight as the Warren Central Dragons 7-1, 4-0 in District 2 host the Allen County-Scottsville Patriots 5-4 overall and 3-2 in District 2. Jason, a win tonight means a district championship for the second year in a row for the Dragons. What are they going to have to do to stop Allen County-Scottsville and come out victorious this evening?
Well, to start off, they need to contain David Delk. He's the number 6 leading rusher in Class 3A, so they need to start right away and get after him and contain him and not let him get his average of close to 130 yards a game. So that's the number one thing that Warren Central needs to start with.
Now for Allen County-Scottsville, their playoff destiny is in their own hands. If they win tonight, they go to the postseason, but if they lose, it's a matter of some conjecture. Warren East can come up and play the spoiler next week against Bowling Green. Jason, what's Allen County-Scottsville going to have to do to come out with a big win on the road?
Well, just like Warren Central trying to contain David Delk, Allen County needs to contain Desmond Harris. He's right up there with David Delk in rushing yards this year. He's also one of the leading rushers in Class 3A. So both teams alike need to contain their number one rushing. So that's the key opportunity for both teams to get this win. Who contains the leading rusher the most?
Here before kickoff, let's take a look at the starting lineups. Beginning with the Allen County-Scottsville offense. Across the offensive line, number 57, Isaac Stewart. Number 78, Brandon Caudill. Number 73, James McReynolds. Number 70, Michael Collado. And number 63, Michael Williams. Their backs and receivers line up like this. At quarterback, number 9, Phillip Carter. They start 2 halfbacks. One is number 20, Lamont Preston, and one, starting in place of the injured Brandon Sloan, is number 32, Jonathan Hopkins. David Delk, as Jason mentioned in the open, is the key to the Allen County-Scottsville offense. He'll be wearing number 44. Number 12 is the tight end, Adam Wanda, and number 10 is the split end, Brian Eaton. On defense, the Patriots look like this. Across the line, it's Nick Gallioris, Cody Kitchens, Brandon Caudill, Evan Williams, and Michael Collado. And in their secondary, at linebacker, they have Isaac Stewart, number 57, and William Pettigo, number 36. Cornerback is number 32, Jonathan Hopkins. Daniel Williams, number 33 at cornerback as well. Number 25, Ben Eaton is the free safety, and number 21, Andrew Hardcastle is the strong safety. Allen County-Scottsville receives the ball first. Daniel Poppy will be kicking off for Warren Central. Squib kick is away. Hops over Delk's head and is picked up by Preston at the 10-yard line. He's hit right there. He breaks 3 or 4 tackles. But he will have only advanced the ball to the 15-yard line. That's where Allen County-Scottsville will start the ball game. Jason, how important is it for Allen County-Scottsville to come out and set an offensive tone early? They score a lot of points, 36 a game to be exact. How important is it for them to come out and set a tone after only having scored 7 points last week at Bowling Green?
Well, to start off with, you come in and set the tone early. You score first. That silences the Warren Central crowd. That puts a silence on the Warren Central sideline as well. You know, you score first, and that sets the tone for the rest of the game.
Handoff is to Delk, and he sets the tone very well early, getting all the way out to the 31-yard line, a pickup of 15 yards. First down, Allen County.
You set that tone early, then they realize that the rest of the game they're going to control. So you need to start with that.
Delk picking up 15 yards on that run. He only had around 75 last week at Bowling Green, well below his average. He has 1,155 yards on the year. First and 10 Patriots as Carter under center. He looked like he handed off, and he ran the option. The pitch was to Hopkins. and he gets out to about the 44-yard line. That'll be good enough for a first down, the second first down of the game for Allen County.
Allen County needs to Warren Central needs to have that outside linebacker come inside, contain that pitch man. Bring in that outside linebacker on the pitch man, bring that pitch inside. Quarterback keeps it. He's tackled for a loss on that play.
Jason fans in this area are certainly familiar with the option. Coach Jack Harbaugh's been running it for 10 years over at Western Kentucky University. But now it's 1st and 10 Patriots at their own 44-yard line here early on, first quarter, 14:08 to go. Carter taking a little while, resetting the offense. Looked like he called an audible, and there's a flag on the play. Probably going to be an illegal shift. Delay of game called on Allen County-Scottsville. That's referee Danny Saxley. His staff sets up like this. The umpire is Robert Saxley. Linesman is Dennis Owens. The line judge is Jeff Burris. And the back judge is David Valentine. Loss of 5 yards on the penalty. It'll set up 1st and 15 at their own 38-yard line.
That hurts. You know, you get 2 automatic first downs just like that, and then you lose 5 yards on a silly penalty.
Now they set up with their normal T-bone in the back of Carter. Takes the snap. The handoff is immediately to Hopkins, and he's hit right at the line. Picked up 1, if that.
Warren Central got in there in the middle of that. They pretty much read that right from the beginning, knew exactly where it was going. They'd been beat on the outside previous play, so you know they're going to come up the middle. And Warren Central's defensive line just stuffed it right there. Not just 1, but there was 3 or 4 blue jerseys on that tackle.
2nd down and 14 now. Carter under center, and he'll take the snap. Fakes the handoff. No, actually the handoff was to Delk. He picks up only about 3 yards, gets maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to set up 3rd and long for Allen County.
Tackle was made by Mick Conley. He's been in there last couple of plays there. Big hitter.
He had 59 tackles on the year. He's one of the anchors, along with Casey Dye, on the defensive line. He's one of the anchors of this Warren Central offense. 6 of his tackles so far this year has been for loss. And there we see Rick Wood looking on, trying to get his defense to come up with a big stop right here. He's in his 3rd year here at Warren Central. Carter fakes the handoff. It's play action. He drops back to pass. He had a man on the sideline, but threw it out of bounds. The man that was open looked to be, well, he had a man open on the sideline. Daniel Williams was his man open on the sideline out of bounds.
Kevin Fishburne was there to make that play had he caught that pass.
And that's going to set up Brian Eaton, but we're going to have an illegal substitution on Allen County. That's going to push them back 5 more yards. It's going to be 4th and 15. Eaton's going to have 5 more yards to punt to the Warren Central all-star returners of Desmond Harris and Shane Green. Not only do they star on offense and in defensive secondary, but Green is the primary returner. He has a return touchdown so far this year. And as I said, he and Harris will be back to receive the punt for Warren Central.
Look for some good field position here. Not too much wind tonight, but you know, on a penalty like that, you necessarily don't get a great kick. But he did get a very nice kick, high tight spiral.
High spiral. It's called for a fair catch by Harris. Green got in his way, and there's a fumble.
See what that's about. Could be a halo violation, fair catch violation.
Fumble on the play is picked up by Allen County. Now they pick up first down. It's 1st down and 10 on the Warren Central 29-yard line. And Allen County gets new life by costly Warren Central turnover, something you don't want to see if you're a Dragon fan.
Not at all. Not
so early on in the game. 9:35 to go first quarter. Snap is to Carter. He fakes the handoff to Delk, goes underneath, gets about 3 or 4 yards.
That's a good defensive play there. Stephen Haley played contain on that pitch man, and as you saw, Sloan Carter right back inside. So that had he not had that contain, he may have pitched that ball off and gained 5, 6 more yards.
Well, we saw Hopkins on just the second play from scrimmage pick up 13 yards on a pitch just like that. It'll be 2nd down and 6 from the Warren Central 25-yard line. Carter gets Hopkins in motion, pitches back. He pitches back to Hopkins, And Hopkins gets hit almost immediately, knocked out of bounds for a gain of 1, maybe 2.
Lonnell Dewalt was on that tackle. He, right there, any later of a pitch, and he might have just picked that right up out of his hand.
3rd and 4 now for Allen County. Almost getting in field goal range for Ben Eaton or Nick Gallioris. They share the place kicking duties. Carter the handoff. Carter fakes the handoff. He goes underneath, and he picks up a gain of about 11. It'll be good for a first down.
Kevin Fishburne just barely got a hold of him. Had Kevin Fishburne not been there, that was a touchdown-saving tackle there. Just
Carter
barely squeezed through that secondary, that linebacking position. And
Carter had almost everyone else on the Warren Central defense fooled right there. Goes underneath. Picks up about 10. It'll be 1st and 10 for Allen County-Scottsville at the Warren Central 12-yard line. And, Jason, they're setting that offensive tone early.
Like I said earlier, you set this tone, you score first. You know, that silences the home team crowd and the home sideline.
Pitch is to Preston. He barrels his way down inside the 5-yard line, or right at the 5-yard line. Going to be 2nd and 4 from the Warren Central 5 for Allen County-Scottsville.
Scott Webb made that tackle. I've watched the last couple plays. He's been doing a real good job of scraping that linebacking field to get to that ball carrier.
Delk and Preston behind Carter. Preston was the man in motion. The handoff was to Delk. No, the handoff was fake to Delk. And then Carter went underneath, just got barely inside the 5-yard line. A pickup of maybe 1. Be 3rd and probably 4 again is what they're going to call it. From just inside the Warren Central 5-yard line, Allen County needs to pick up the first down right here.
The good thing is they can gain a first down and still then have 4 more shots within 1 yard of the goal line. So you've got a chance at 5 plays here to get less than 5 yards into that end zone.
Preston and Delk behind Carter right here. Carter the handoff to Delk, and he gets tackled right at, it looks like the 2-yard line. It'll be very close to a first down. It'll be interesting to see where they spot it.
This will be a tough call for Coach Long to see whether he decides to go for it or go ahead and, depending on how sure you are in your place kicker, if you want to go ahead and take that given 3 points. Although nothing is ever given in the kicking game, and I know that from experience. But yeah, so well, it looks like they're going to end up going for it. So
early on, a big decision for Coach Steve Long.
This is a key play here for both Warren Central and ACS. Both sets tones right now.
Carter sneaks. The Allen, and the signal is touchdown. Phillip Carter, the quarterback, sneak from 2 yards out. Makes it 6-0 Allen County with 6:30 to go here in the first quarter.
Well, I'll tell you what, like I said, beginning of the game, you're the team that scored first, so you set that tone. You know, like I said, listen to the Warren Central side. They're a little quiet now. The Warren Central sideline, they're a little quiet, but yeah, they've yet to have the ball too. So, you know, you got to let them have their chance now. You know, they played very well. We got a trick play here.
Going for 2, Carter, the pass out to Delk. Delk in, and it's 8-0 Allen County.
Didn't even see that, but that's the swinging gate. A lot of high school teams are starting to pick that up now. A lot of college teams are doing that just exactly for that reason. You snap, you catch the defensive side of the ball off guard.
A lot of high school teams are starting off like that and then just coming right out and doing the extra point kick. And Allen County's done that a lot this year. That's Carter's 4th extra point, or the 5th 2-point conversion pass already on the season, and that's from a team that doesn't pass the ball very much at all.
Exactly. Well, back to the fact of setting that tone. Now you're up 8-0. Warren Central, that leaves Warren Central with a big decision to make, whether they score right now to kick that extra point or to go for 2.
Well,
big decision to make there.
And interestingly enough, right there, you saw the entire drive kept going after Desmond Harris and Shane Green couldn't decide which one of them were going to take the ball. Harris had called for a fair catch. Green got in his way, and it looked like they collided, and the ball simply fell to the ground. 3 guys back with James Shannon, Desmond Harris, and Shane Green back to receive the kick from Nick Gallioris. Kick is up. Harris has it at the 5, and he'll take it from there. He gets some good blocking, and he's got room to run. He finds the seam. He's got one man to beat. Desmond Harris is gone. 20, 10, ring it up, but there is a flag on the play.
Should be a clipping penalty or blocking the back. The way that where that flag is thrown, that's right where that wall was set up. He did have some good blocks, but all it takes is one bad block to bring it all the way back.
Holding is the call, and it's on Warren Central. Flag was thrown all the way back at their own 37-yard line, and Harris is livid as he walks back to the sideline.
Harris is one of those type players that looks like he's a little upset, you know, at his teammates, but I can see it in him. He's got that opportunity. He'll get an opportunity again, so it shouldn't let him affect him too much right now. He's still a little excited about it.
Harris right now is 5th in 3A in rushing at 133 yards a game. He also scores almost 14 points a game for the Dragons. He thought he had 6 more right there, only to see it brought back by an illegal hold for the Dragons. They'll start off 1st and 10 at their own 27. Forrester will be under center. Fishburne behind him in green. The handoff is to Fishburne. He plunges ahead to right about his own 30-yard line. Pickup of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
This is Allen County's chance to now match the tone set by themselves. Let their defense prevail, you know. Their offense score right away. Let's see what their defense can do, whether they can force a turnover, 3 and out. You know, now it's the defensive side of the ball.
Allen County is giving up 22.3 points a game on defense. Be interesting to see what they can do. The pitch is to Harris. Harris behind a wall of blockers gets out of bounds right on the sideline near his own 40-yard line. They're going to call it the 41. Pickup of 12, and that's going to be a 1st down for Warren Central.
Michael Collada on that tackle. Had he not been there, that might have gone for a few more yards. But Isaac Stewart was there to contain him and hold him up, and Collada got that tackle.
1st and 10 now. Warren Central. Wilson and Dewalt out at wide receiver. The pitch back is to Harris, and he finds through. Hit immediately as he hit the hole by William Pettigo. Gets about 3 yards on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 7.
Noticing that Allen County's not really, they're in an odd defense. They don't have a strong safety and a free safety that you would normally see. They're putting a lot of people up on that front line. Now they do have a strong safety now. It looks like he's going to be their rover type position.
Forrester drops back to pass. He's hit. Let's see who got him. It was number 36, William Pettigo, on the sack.
He got through that offensive line very quickly. Didn't even look like he was touched. He might have timed that snap count exactly to get through there that quickly.
Loss of 6 yards on the play. 3rd and 13 from their calling at the 38-yard line for Warren Central. This is important. They've had 2 bad plays already. The fumbled punt and the return that was called back. Forrester drops back to pass. Green has it. He's going to pick up the 1st down, and he falls down at his, after getting into Allen County-Scottsville territory, he falls down at the 43-yard line. Jason, it looked like he might have had a little bit of room up the sideline to run.
He had a few yards there. Dewalt, number 84, was there to get that block, and he cut it at the last second and ended up tripping over his own blocker's feet. Had he made a cut maybe a step earlier, he might have taken that to the house.
1st down on the play, a pickup of 20, or excuse me, yes, a pickup of exactly 20 yards. On the pass, Forrester drops back. He fakes the handoff. It's a quarterback draw. He's up the middle, and Forrester is gone. 10-5 touchdown, Gabe Forrester. Folks, that is his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. 43 yards for Gabe Forrester on the quarterback draw. Jason, they executed that perfectly.
They did. They dropped back. He 3-step drop, faked that handoff, paused for a split second and took off, and he was untouched all the way. His offensive lineman separated and just cleared a hole that you could see that from the snap that play was going to happen.
They had the hole that you could drive a Mack truck through right there.
I wanted to say it, but I wasn't going to say it.
The Mack. The old.
Yeah, that was a very well.
Warren Central looks like they're going to line up to go for 2, and then they decide to call timeout. You wonder if there's a little bit of hesitation in Rick Wood's mind about exactly what they're going to do.
Right.
He glares back toward Casey Dye, the starting tight end and starting defensive end on the sideline, waves him back to the sideline. You wonder what Coach Wood's going to come out and tell his team right here. He has yet to reach the huddle.
Leroy Wilson comes off the field
and brings DeWalt back in.
on. So maybe something a little different now. You know, take out the shorter tight end and bring in a taller wide receiver.
Well, what you can do here, Jason, is also the fade route. DeWalt's big.
Exactly.
He's 6'5", 180. He's only a sophomore. And the fade route here, especially from Forrester, a team that doesn't pass the ball a whole lot like Warren Central, might see them get that 2 points and even the score up at 8.
Exactly. But now remember back to what I said. ACS set this tone by going for 2. So Warren Central feels that, hey, we need to go for 2 to try to tie this ball game. Yes, granted it's early, but you know, Allen County stops this. They're up by 2, and which causes
DeWalt lines up just like a tight end. Forrester rolls right and throws to Harris for 2.
So they make it tied up at 8 now with just under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. But like I said, now that Warren Central's got that 2-point conversion, now it's back to a 0-0 ball game. You know, both offensives have scored now, and now it's time for the defense to step up on both sides of the ball, on both sides of the field, and see now who's going to contain who.
3 minutes and 49 seconds remain in this first quarter. It is tied at 8. Jason, how important do you think it is for Warren Central to basically march the ball down the field right there after having the 2 costly mistakes, Harris's return called back, and also the fumble by Harris and Green collectively on the punt?
If you look at Allen County's first drive, it took up pretty much half the first quarter. Warren Central got the ball after Allen County scored, and it took 3 minutes for their drive and a touchdown with the 2-point conversion. So if Allen County gets this ball and drives the field, they can use up the majority of the rest of this first quarter and then on into the second quarter.
Bobby's kick was away. It's a squib kick again. Once again, Preston picks it up at his own 11-yard line. He runs through. He finds a hole. He finds a seam. He gets past. Oh, Daniel Poppy. How often do we see that when you've got one man to beat?
Always.
The kicker comes up, gets that one hit, knocks Preston out of bounds right at midfield. Allen County-Scottsville going to start with the ball actually in Central territory, about the Central 48-yard line.
Those are one of those plays where a kicker wants to be the big man, and then all of a sudden he breaks through, and then you realize, hey, I got to make this tackle. And you get a little jittery because you're not too used to it, but you make that tackle and you feel good about yourself, along with the rest of your teammates.
Carter fakes the handoff, and that's Lonnell Dewalt. He wasn't having anything of it. He also plays on the defensive line for Warren Central. He read that play perfectly. Allen County-Scottsville had some success with that. On their first drive, the fake handoff to Delk and then the underneath run by Carter. Dewalt read it and knocks Carter down for a loss of 1.
I don't see too much passing going to happen on Harrison and Howard back there. Those two guys are quick, and they look like they're pretty good athletes to cover those wide receivers.
Handoff is to Delk. He's through. If he can get past James Shannon, he'll be gone. And David Delk, touchdown, Allen County-Scottsville.
49 yards.
49-yard run right after Central stops the Allen County running play that had succeeded so well on the first drive.
Exactly.
They hand off to Delk, their bread and butter. We said he came into the game as the 6th leading rusher in 3A. And once again, now we're seeing that swinging gate here from Allen County.
And they're deciding probably going to go ahead and kick this one. Not too often do you see a back-to-back swing gate play work.
Carter is the holder, and Eaton will kick. Brian Eaton, that is. The hold is good. Brian Eaton's kick is up, and it is good. 15-8 with 2:53 to go. We said Allen County's first drive took 6 minutes. That one only took 56 seconds.
Well, now it's still early in the ball game, the first quarter, just under 3 minutes. So Warren Central's got a chance here to go ahead and burn the rest of this clock in the first quarter and go on into the second quarter and take that momentum with this drive. You know, granted that was a short time possession for Allen County, but basically they did what they needed to do by getting down there and scoring very quickly. Now it's their defense's turn to stop Warren Central. So we got 3 possessions now, 3 scores.
3 scores.
So this may turn into an offensive ball game rather than a defensive ball game.
Both teams score well over 30 points a game, and right here in the first quarter, we've got a shootout going. Allen County was stifled last week at Bowling Green. They lost 10-7. Warren Central's been scoring 34 points a game all year long. 15-8 right now. Going to be interesting to see who wins in the battle of that irresistible force and that immovable object. The 2 offenses of these 2 teams. Allen County-Scottsville has had the worst points per game defense between the 2. Central's giving up about 16 points a game, whereas Allen County's giving up 22 or more.
Just wanted to put in a quick fact that Warren Central's second middle line just shifted, which is very odd.
Harris catches the kickoff in his own end zone. That's a touchback, and Central will start on their own 20-yard line.
Not sure if a lot of listeners know that in high school it is a mandatory touchback if the ball goes into the end zone. They do that for majority reason of they don't want to risk the injury to those return men.
Right. So now Gabe Forrester runs out on the field to lead the Dragons on their second drive, hoping to lead them to another score. He had that important 43-yard run to score the touchdown for the Dragons in the first drive of the game. Forrester lines up. Harris is the only one behind him. He catches the pitch, and he's out to about his own 24-yard line. A pickup of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, there William Pentago got to the outside. He contained that pitch man. He doesn't, like I've said before, he keeps that pitch man in, and that erases that pitch man to the outside. Makes the quarterback come inside, right back into the amongst all the defensive linemen.
So very rare to see Central, a team who pretty much sticks to the eye, line up with only one guy behind Forrester. Forrester fakes the pitch again to Harris, gets through, and he's hit immediately.
3 and 4 tacklers on that play. That's what you need in defense.
Tyler Berry, number 84, defensive end, who also doubles as a wide receiver for this Patriot team, was the first man to get through. Forrester stopped for a gain of about 1, and now it's 3rd, and they're calling it 4 from the Central 26. Dragons probably need to get that first down here. It would be key.
Very key. 3rd and call it 5. That's a long 5 yards. You need to get, they're coming out, Warren Central's come out the first 2 series now and getting 1 and 2 yards in their first down play. You need to come out and get 3 and 4 on that.
Desmond Harris got the handoff right there, and Gallioris got right around, hit him immediately for a loss of about 1 yard line, and now Central's going to be forced to punt. 4th and 6 as time winds down here. 1:15 to go in the first quarter. And it's Adam Wanta that's back to receive the punt for Allen County. Poppy will be the punter for Warren Central on the year. 33.4 yards average on only 16 punts. Kick is away. It's wobbly spiral. Wanta gets it at his 40-yard line, and he'll go from there. Almost ran into his own blocker, and he's tackled immediately by Desmond Harris. Ben Eaton was the blocker right there.
He had a little, that was pretty tough for him, though. He had 2 Warren Central players, as you would call them on the punt team, the headhunters, come down. Basically, they did exactly what they were supposed to do. They came down right there to defend that return, and he was stuck between 2 men. Which one do I take? Which one do I take? He took one. Well, the other one was there to make the tackle.
35 yards on the kick, only 3 on the return. Allen County starts from their own 43-yard line.
Warren Central coming out, and it looks to be like a 3. Well, they bring 2 outside linebackers up, so there you got 3 down linemen.
Carter, the handoff to Delk. Delk gets about 2 on the play, out to his own 45-yard line. Going to be 2nd and about 8 for Allen County-Scottsville.
What I've been noticing is both teams coming out, and their first down plays are gaining, if 2 yards at all sometimes, and you need it. Those are the downs that you need to gain 3 and 4 yards, so that you set up a second and 4 rather than a 2nd and 8. That helps a lot on your offensive side of the ball.
Scottsville comes to the line on what will probably be the last play of the first quarter. Carter takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Delk, goes back underneath for a pickup of about 3. And it looks like that's going to end the first quarter. The score is Allen County-Scottsville 15, Warren Central 8. It's going to be 3rd and 5 going the other way for Allen County when the second quarter begins.
Lonnell
Jason
Dewalt came and he put a hit on the quarterback there. He came inside, as I've said before, had that contained and just put a licking on him. So they're down now to where they should normally be, or what you want on a second down play. It's now 3rd and a long 4.
Jason, how important do you think that first quarter is going to prove to be in this game, or do you think you can kind of just write it off because neither defense really got out there and set a tone? Both offenses kind of just ran rampant except for Central's last drive of the first quarter there.
Well, I'll tell you, you know, it's 15-8 and going into the second quarter now, but Warren Central still on their second possession. Like I've said, this is the 4th possession of the game for both teams, 2 each, and we've had 3 scores now. We're on the 4th, so the end of this 4th drive may result in a score. But as a defense, Allen County now Warren Central is looking at definitely holding this Allen County offense. You know, they're up 15-8, and they need to be stopped, is what Warren Central coaches are saying. You know, that you take away the one and that's the long run, and you're still in a ball game here. And that's the key factor, is one play can make a difference.
3rd and 5, 8 people in the box for Central. The pass is to Brian Eaton. And he is stopped. He dropped the ball, actually. He would have had a first down, maybe a couple more yards. Drops the pass from Carter right there. Now it's 4th and 5, and Scottsville's going to have
that could have been a big play there. He was right in the middle of 3 defensive backs, and he could have came up with a very big play there.
And now he comes back to punt. Green and Harris back to receive for Central. Last time they fumbled the return, and Scottsville ended up with the ball, eventually scored. Takes those Central bounce out to their own 27-yard line.
Well, we've had a possession and no score, so that makes a little difference for Warren Central. Now that they get this ball, they run down the field, put some more points on the board, and they could be down by 1. Or excuse me, they could be tied.
They could take the lead if they
eventually go for 2.
If they went for 2, yeah.
And again, you know, that 2-point conversion early in the game makes a big difference, because now each time you score, you have to think, well, are we going to be up by 1 now, or are we going to just be tied? It comes into effect at the end of the game.
Forrester takes the snap, the handoff to Fishburne, and he's hit right at the catch of the ball. A pickup of 1, if that.
Some big hit out there. I'll tell you what, Warren Central, if they win tonight, they walk away with the district title and go to Franklin-Simpson next week. And yeah, it's a team that they should basically be in preparation for as a playoff game, just because they'll eventually know who they're going to play.
Forster takes the snap, the pitches to Harrison. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage. Casey Dye, the tight end, was blocking for him. It looked like they got mixed up in there. Dye came out very upset, still upset with Harris. The hit
like
was
missed a block there.
Tyler Berry getting credit for the tackle there for Allen County. It's going to be 3rd and 11. Central, a little bit more of a passing team than Allen County is, so Forrester might be looking to throw to either Wilson or Dewalt right here.
We've only seen about 3 passes this game, so this majority of the game is going to be a running game.
Forrester, the play action, drops back. Had Dewalt open. And Jason, if Dewalt comes up with that catch, that's probably 6 points.
That's definitely 6. With his speed and his size, he's going to outrun that secondary. And just as I said, we've only had 3 passes this game. Sure enough, there's the 4th pass of the game. And, you know, 4 passes, and that would have been a 75-yard gain.
Been a 75-yard touchdown.
And so Allen County-Scottsville holds Warren Central's offense. So now there's another possession with no score.
One to the return man for Scottsville. As Poppy gets the kick away, a wobbly end-over-end kick. Wanta drops it. The ball is loose.
I don't know.
It's going to be interesting to see.
Got that one back.
It did
Not
look like Allen
positive.
County got the ball back. It was Brian Eaton who came away with the ball for Allen County right there. 4 or 5 guys from each team
Fighting
tried to
over that.
fall on the ball.
I'll tell you what, I don't know if you saw it, but it's a low snap on that punt. And punter went back there and looked to me as if he kneeled down on the ground. I can't see from up here as the official, so obviously he didn't. But those are key factors you have to look for in games and deciding games that they can affect the outcome.
Of course, in the high school and college games, you don't have to be touched once you touch the ground for it to be a down. Carter takes the snap. The handoff was immediately to Delk. He plunges forward for about 2 yards.
If, for instance, that would have happened, you're looking at right now, currently, the Patriots have close to 70 yards drive for that touchdown, and they're already up 15-8. If that does happen, they've got the ball in the Warren Central
in the red zone.
Yeah, so that's a lot to come out with at the end of this game. So we'll see what happens on this drive, though.
Deep in Central Territories where they would have been on their own 33, 2nd and 8, Allen County. Delk is the man behind Carter. Preston in motion. And I suspect you're going to see an illegal man in motion call right here against Allen County. The officials discussed it.
That whole
we'll wait to see what Danny Saxley says. False start, illegal procedure, man in motion on Allen County. That's going to push them back 5 yards, make it about 2nd and 13.
Possibly it could have been the whole secondary for Warren Central. Linebackers and corners and safeties as well, all shifted in that play there. So they could have seen that, maybe thrown that offense off a little bit.
You'd think that you sometimes get in the habit of thinking that the offense isn't confused by what the defense does because they know when the ball's going to be snapped.
Right.
But occasionally you'll even see a center or a quarterback
jump, and that makes a difference. You know when the snap is coming, the defense doesn't, but that's what the defense is there for, to try to throw you off.
Wanta in motion, tight end moves to the other side for Allen County. Now Hopkins in motion. Handoff was to Delk all the time, and he only gets about 2 yards out to his own 29-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and very long for Allen County-Scottsville.
I'll tell you what, Harris is coming up from that corner position, that safety position. He's coming up on that line. I say watching these next couple of plays, Harris to make a big play in the backfield. I don't see anybody on offense coming out to pick him up on any of the last couple of plays. So I expect him to make a big play, big tackle for loss.
Now on 3rd and long right here, do you think Coach Rick Wood sends Harris up there again, especially considering Allen County-Scottsville's in a passing position? I
send him up there. Obviously you're going to have a rollout situation, and he's up there. Well, what did I say then? There he is. He didn't come all the way up on that play like he has, but there he was. There he was.
The pass was incomplete. It was intended for Ben Eaton. Desmond Harris almost came up with the interception, leaped, went right off his fingertip. Now it's going to be 4th and 11. Brian Eaton back to punt for Allen County, and Green and Harris once again back to return for Warren Central. They're going to end up with very good field position here, Jason.
They will.
Snap is there. The kick by Eaton is an end-over-ender. Takes an Allen County-Scottsville bounce, and it's down at the Warren Central 35-yard line. That's where they'll take over 1st and 10 here with 8:29 to go in the 2nd quarter.
A lot of times in a punt like that, end-over-end punt, sometimes they get a better bounce than it does a spiral. You always do want a high spiral because it's going to turn over at the top of its peak and it'll bounce in your favor. But a lot of times that ball end-over-end will just skip and just keep on bouncing.
Forrester into the huddle, ready to lead Central in the battle here in his last home regular season game in a Warren Central uniform. He's been the starting quarterback now, his 2nd year at Warren Central, and he's under center to lead Central on their 3rd drive. The pass is to Fishburne, and he's got a 1st down. Forrester faked the handoff, rolled left, which is the opposite side for him, dumped it out in the flat to Kevin Fishburne, and he picks up about 11 yards. It'll be 1st down for Central.
Fishburne, I don't know if you saw it, James, but Fishburne threw off one tackler there. He's a shorter guy, so he's got a lower center of gravity. It's tough to tackle those guys.
Fishburne's 5'9", 170-pound senior fullback. The handoff right there was to Shane Green. He gets about 4 yards on the play, out past midfield to about the 48-yard line.
On that last
Second
play.
and 6.
On that last play, Fishburne reminded me of Brock Baker for Western. You know, that short, that small, low center of gravity, quickness of the feet. And he looked like him running outside on there on that screen pass.
Second and 7, they're calling it now as the clock winds down. 7:49 to go first quarter. Wilson is the receiver near on your screen. And the handout, the pitch is to Harris. He gets brought back by Nick Gallioris right there. Pickup of about 3 or 4. Going to be 3rd and 3, looks like, from the 45-yard line for Warren Central.
Gallioris isn't there. He reached from behind Harris and pulled him backwards. If he's not there, he's going to pick up some more yards. And with Harris's speed, possibly could have broken to the outside and eventually got to the end zone. So that was a very, very well needed play.
You saw Coach Steve Long pacing on the sideline, wanting his defense to do something. The fake handoff leads to the quarterback draw. Forrester gets out, and Andrew Hardcastle had the tackle right there for Allen County-Scottsville. Hardcastle, the starting strong safety for the Patriots. 4th and 3 from the Allen County 45, and Daniel Poppy is going to punt yet again for Central. It'll be his 3rd kick of the night.
One return man back for Allen County.
Adam Wanta is back, standing at his own 10-yard line. Snap is there, better snap than last time. And Poppy, another end-over-end kick, a very, very short kick, but high. And hits right at the 20-yard line, bounces parallel.
So it was a little bit of mixture of bounce there. That punt had a lot of backspin on that, so you're not going to really get a good bounce off that ball. Looked like he caught that one off the back part of his foot, more towards his shin. That's what happens when balls go backwards like that on a punt.
Only a 27-yard kick, no return, of course. Sets up 1st and 10 from their own 20, and after seeing a high-scoring first quarter, we're halfway through the second. As you see Rick Wood there pacing on the sideline, wanting his Dragons to come up with a big play here on defense.
Big play or interception, turnover. We need something here. Tied the score up.
Preston set in motion. Fake handoff is to Delkin. Carter gets through, has to dodge the referee, but still picks up about 22 yards out to the 42-yard line. 1st down for Allen County. Had everyone on Central's defense faked out with the handoff on that.
That he did. I'll tell you, a lot of high school kids are starting to become smart today. You see in NCAA as well as in professional football, you see a lot of smart running backs. They use that umpire, they use the referees, they use the line judge as a pick. They run straight at them, and they wait for that defensive back or linebacker to make a move. And whichever way they go, the running back goes the opposite way. And that's what he did.
1st and 10 from their own 42. He faked the handoff again. Takes it by himself. Picks up about 4 that time. Out to the 46-yard line. Going to be 2nd and 6. They call it a pickup of 6. They say it's 2nd and 4. Jason, that's a long 4 yards.
4 yards. That's more to the backside of 5 to me.
2nd and 4, they're calling it. Looks like more like 5 or 6. Here, 5:20 to go in the first quarter. Carter gets down, calls it on the line, sends Hopkins in motion. The handoff is to Delk. He faked the pitch afterward, and Delk gets through, had a couple blockers, broke a couple tackles, and gets all the way down to the Central 32-yard line. A pickup up 21 on the play.
That looked like a direct snap to me. I couldn't see from the angle that we're at up here, but the way that Forrester dropped back, to me, the way Carter dropped back looked like the ball was already away before he even started taking his drops. So it may have been a direct snap.
Carter now, the only man behind him is Delk. Hopkins in motion, the handoff. The fake of the handoff, and Carter is hit immediately. Central having none of it.
This is going to be second and a long 9. Call it a long 8. Warren Central's lining up in a 5-3. They have 3 defensive backs. It looks like they have a strong safety, a free safety, and then a rover. That rover is basically going to move wherever he wants to, wherever he thinks is the strong side, wherever he thinks he needs to go.
Hopkins is the man in motion for Allen County. The handoff is to Delk. Delk gets about 3 or 4 down inside the 30-yard line to the 28. It's going to be 3rd and about 7 here for Allen County-Scottsville.
But I said last series Harris was making was coming up on that line. Well, I'm starting to see Green make those same movements on the other side of the field. And so look for something big out of both those players. They're both moving around a lot, mixing the defense up. Maybe trying to cause some confusion with the offense, get them to jump off sides. There's that 5-3 again with an up man on the line.
Carter, the play action, had Brian Eaton wide open, overthrew him badly. Green had a play on the ball, didn't quite get there.
Would have been a first down.
4th and 6, and they're right in that middle range, probably too far out for a field goal. But do you really want to punt it from 28 yards out?
Well, you look at a difference there. Is if you kick this is a 45-yarder. A lot of high school kids have this leg in them, but you know it depends. Now, if you go for it and you gain 3-4 yards, Warren Central gets the ball on the 25 tops. So it's a tough call, and if you punt it, you may end up kicking the end zone and only gaining 20 yards anyway.
Carter fakes the handoff, the end around, and he is wrapped up and taken down by Lonnell Dewalt. Coming out of his defensive end position outside, gets Phillip Carter, and Warren Central will take over on downs at their own 25-yard line.
So that really didn't, even though they did not score on that play, you know, you look at it as if had they kicked the field goal and missed, the ball would have came out. They've only gained 5 yards since it would have been the 20. If they punt it, the ball goes in the end zone, comes out on the 20. So again, you've only given up a difference of 5 yards.
Right.
So it's really not that big of a deal on that one play.
Forrester fakes the handoff to Harris. He's around. There is a flag on the play, and he's wrapped up and brought down for no gain right there by Isaac. It's going to be Isaac Stewart and Tyler Berry on the tackle right there. It's going to be interesting to see who this flag is on. Probably going to be a holding call, like you said, Jason.
Yes, it was.
Right
Looked
in
to be
that
right in the area of the quarterback as he was dropping back, and he broke one tackle. I think the offensive lineman got a hand in there to try to give him a few extra yards.
Holding was the call. You saw Central walk back 10 yards before the call was actually even made. Going to make it 1st and 20 from their own 15.
Allen County setting their defense. Defense has had a good game, contained them, only held them to 1 score.
Rick was frustrated on the sideline after that penalty. 1st and 20, as we said. Forrester coming up the center with Fishburne and Harris behind him. The handoff to Harris. Harris is hit at the 15. He pushes ahead, gets about 2 down to the 17. It'll be 2nd and 18 for Warren Central. Tyler Berry right there. You see him on your screen. He's been coming up everywhere making tackles so far in this first half for Allen County. 2nd and 18, they're calling it. For Warren Central, as you see Casey Dye come in. He and Michael Coles, number 85, running off your screen right there, substitute for one another at tight end. Dye leading the Warren Central defense in tackles out of his defensive end position.
Allen County with 4 down linemen.
Forrester, the fade route to Leroy Wilson. He jumps up, makes the catch at his own 40-yard line.
Say that's going to be a great receiver here within the next couple of years. You know, he timed that jump perfect. Quarterback made a nice pass and put it where only he could catch that ball.
Leroy Wilson, the 6'4", 185-pound junior, picks up a 1st down on a pickup of 23 yards out to his own 40-yard line.
4 down lineman for Allen County-Scottsville.
The handoff is to Harris. He gets about 3 before he's brought down. 2nd and 7 it's going to be from their own 43-yard line. Second and 8, they're calling it from their own 43-yard line. As time winds down here in the first quarter, 1:40 to go. You know Central wants to put the ball in the end zone before the end of the half.
They definitely do. They want to go up and at least tie this game and make this game a little bit closer and come out in the second quarter.
Forrester, the pass out to Lonnell Dewalt, and he hands off to Desmond Harris. Harris, room up the sideline, gets all the way down to the Allen County 36-yard line.
There is a flag down now
of 23 yards.
There is a late flag. It's going to be probably another 15-yard penalty tacked on to that. It was after the play. Maybe unsportsmanlike conduct, but we'll wait here and see. Tell you what, that's the closest to a flea flicker as I've seen in a long time. You know, it wasn't really that toss pitch off that catch, but he handed it off, and that's where he gained that yards. That was a personal foul penalty on Allen County, so that's tacked 15 more yards onto that.
You called it exactly right. After the 21-yard pickup on the pass out to DeWalt and then the handoff to Harris.
And that could have been anything from a late hit to an Allen County guy talking a little bit too much, and you know that's all the way over there. We can't see that far, so we really don't know what that is. But it could have been a majority. It could have been any number of things. But the key in that is that's another 15 yards on that play, and now it puts him just short of being in the red zone.
Forrester, whistle's blown before Forrester can come back and make his play. Looked like he was going to try to roll right there. Maybe keep going with the whole passing thing.
Maybe.
It's worked for them on the last two plays.
You know, we've only seen a few passes this game, but here the last 2 and 3 passes have all been completions for Warren Central. So maybe they found something that's going to help out and where they can come out in the second half and maybe start something new.
Rick Wood is livid on the sideline. His team had a golden opportunity. Now it's going to be 1st and 15 after the man in motion penalty.
It's going to be a 26-yard try for this first down. Granted, it's only first down now, so they got four downs to try.
1st and 15, same play. Forrester rolls right. He was not looking to pass. It didn't look like on that play until he realized he was running out of room.
Realized he was either getting run out of bounds or he was going to be tackled for a loss. Looked like he tried to get that ball down there to Lonnell Dewalt, but just couldn't get there. He was going opposite way, trying to throw across your body. It's very difficult.
He was really the only receiver in the area, and as you said, Jason, not a lot of mustard on the ball. 1:17 to go, 15-8. Allen County-Scottsville leading here in this second quarter. It's going to be 2nd and again, 15 for Warren Central. You got to think they're probably abandoning the passing thing.
Well, they may, buddy. You have to realize you're going second. A long 15 here, so.
And just as I say that, Forrester drops back. Leroy Wilson. Oh!
That's a play he's going to want tomorrow morning.
Jason, right there, it looked like Leroy Wilson ran his route out and turned around and didn't realize the ball was going to be right there. Exactly. It went right through his hands, hit him in the leg, and fell to the ground.
One of those plays where the ball is supposed to be there, maybe not necessarily that soon, maybe a little bit sooner. And to me, exactly, James, it looked like he turned around, that ball was right there, and didn't have a chance to exactly gauge it and get those hands out there and catch it.
That should have been 6 points for Warren Central right there. Now it's 3rd and 15 from the Allen County 26, and they're in a passing situation again. Forrester drops back, rolling. He has DeWalt open. DeWalt down inside the 10-yard line. There was a flag at the end of the play right there. He is at the Allen County 6-yard line. It is a first down, assuming the play stands. Going to be interesting to see what they call it right here.
At 6'5", 180, this kid has some moves. He's got some ability.
Face mask was the call by referee Danny Saxley.
Well, inside the red zone, that's going to be, depending on whether that was intentional or not, that could be anywhere from 5 to 15 yards. But in the red zone, it's going to be half the distance to the goal line. So you're looking at 1st and goal from the 5 now. So you got 4 downs to get 5 yards in a minute to either take this lead or tie the ball game. You know, now are you going in to score here? Are you going to go for 2, or are you going to take that 1 and go in with the tie, or go in with the win and with the lead?
Warren Central is at the Allen County 4-yard line with 1:03 to go, down 15-8 here in the second quarter. Forrester is under center. The handoff is to Harris. He goes around the left side for the touchdown. Desmond Harris, we said he scores 14 points a game for Warren Central. He had the 2-point conversion catch and now the touchdown. That makes 8. And it's 15-14 with the extra point to come. 58 and
well, they only needed 1 play rather than the 4 and 2 seconds off the clock. So that sets up, like I said, James, what do? Do you go ahead and take the pretty much given 1 point? Now, like I said, nothing's always a given. Nothing's always for sure. Or do you get to take that chance and go for 2 to take the lead to go into the half?
Well, Daniel Poppy is now, I'll say that was guaranteed. He kicked it all the way out of Dragon Stadium right here. Ties the game at 15, makes them 34 of 38 on the year in extra points.
If you can see back on that shot, if you can see that second fence back there, there's the fence, the initial fence onto the field behind that upright. Then there's the track and there's another fence on the outside of the track. I'd say that's a good 10 or 15 yards past. Probably actually that's more to like along the line 20 yards past that upright. So you're looking at a 20-yard extra point.
You're looking
on
at
top of another 20 yards back to that fence, and probably had another 5 yards to clear. So that's a good 45-yard kick.
It's a 45-yard extra point right there for Daniel Poppy.
And I'll tell you what, I've had many of those when I was back in high school, and even in college I had a few of those. You know,
I don't like to brag.
No, well, I'm just saying those can come in handy when you got a strong kicker like that. You know, you don't pay much attention on an extra point, but you start getting driven back there. You know, it's always a good thing is to have one.
Well, and it kind of gives you an indication of the kind of range he's going to have if this game is tied late and Warren Central's offense stagnates right in that 20 to 25-yard line area.
So you never know what's going to happen. It could come down to a kicking game. And
Poppy to kick it away, and it goes back into the end zone, through the end zone for a touchback.
I'm starting to see a lot more of kickers kicking these squib kicks, trying to get them cornered in the end zone or cornered just shy of the end zone rather than hang one up there on the goal line, on the 1-yard line, and give a return. I'm starting to see a lot more of that around this area in high school football. I don't know if that's the new thing now, but hey, it's working. You don't get a return, you get clock stops, and now you got to go 80 yards rather than having that chance of getting a kickoff return taken back on you.
Well, Jason, if you're Allen County right here, do you kind of just take your losses and go in tied at 15 here with 55 seconds to go, or do you try and march that 80 yards?
Well, you got 55 seconds and you got 2 timeouts left. I go ahead and run the ball. I go ahead and maybe take a pass, throw a pass, and there's flag just went down previous to this play.
It's going to be a free play right there for Allen County. The handoff was to Delk. He got 1 yard on the play. Then there was some extracurricular activity there between Dewalt and an Allen County-Scottsville player. Probably going to be offsides right there as the official threw the flag without blowing the whistle. Looked like a free play for the Patriots.
Like I was saying, now the clock's down to 48 seconds, just over 48 seconds. So and 2 timeouts left. I'd go down and I'd throw the ball, maybe get a couple yards here, a couple yards there, run the ball, get out of bounds, maybe get down to the field goal range, kick a field goal, go in it. You know, just don't do the risky plays that can cost you maybe a fumble or interception and have that return. And rather than going in tied, you go down 7 or down 8 if they weren't Central decides to go for 8. Maybe get in a field goal range, kick a long field goal. Just you have 48 seconds. Doesn't seem like that's a lot of time, especially when you have 2 timeouts.
Interesting right there, Jason. They let Allen County-Scottsville run the play despite the fact they had a 5-yard penalty before the play against them. Excuse me, a 10-yard penalty.
Oh, now we get 90 yards to go. First 20 with 48 seconds left. So let's see what Allen County can do.
Now, if you're Allen County, do you still air it out despite the fact you've got Desmond Harris back with 2 interceptions and Shane Green back with 2 interceptions in the Warren Central secondary? Also, LaJames Shannon, who has 36 tackles of his own. It's interesting, Jason. We've seen it all night long, but we haven't really keyed in on it. You keyed in on it, I know, once. Warren Central starts a 5-2 set in the box with 4 people in the secondary, Nick Wheat at safety and Max Karavayev at rover. But right now it looks like they're putting 8 people in the box, putting LaJames Shannon, Desmond Harris, and Shane Green out as their secondary, maybe 2 corners and a rover. I mean, What advantage does that give a team as opposed to having your normal 4 people in a secondary?
Well, you look at Desmond Harris was on playing a short corner, and Green was also playing a short corner, and the other Harris was back deep. So with those 3 speed guys, no matter if you're going to go to your flanker on the left or your receiver on the right, eventually you're going to come in contact with 1 or 2 of them. You know, I don't take that chance. Those are 3 speedy guys back there. You know, granted, they're not the tallest of the guys out there on the field, but those are speed guys, and those are the guys that are going to make it tough for that receiver to catch that ball. So I don't throw a pass to my receivers who are on them. I throw a short to a tight end to the outside.
The handoff right away is to Delk. He gets about 3 yards out to his own 13-yard line. Going to set up 2nd and 17 for Allen County as the clock continues to run in the first quarter. Looks like they're going to make absolutely no effort to stop it. 33, 32, 31, 30 seconds left in the first half.
So they're going to go ahead and play it safe and go in here and take at the half tied 15 all. So, you know, why I agree. I would probably go 1 good long pass here, maybe 1 short pass here. That's the difference. So that's a good coach is to go in there and run that clock out.
The handoff once again was to Delk. He picked up about 1 yard, and that's going to end the first half. Allen County-Scottsville broke out early. Warren Central answered back, and then answered back again in the second quarter. Ties the score at 15 at halftime. We'll be right back with a little bit of halftime entertainment featuring the Warren Central High School Band here on senior night at Dragon Stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, here for your halftime entertainment, sponsored by Royal Music. It's our Inside Halftime Show. It's the Warren Central Dragon Marching Band. Back here at Warren Central High School, Dragon Stadium at Coach Joe Hood Field, tied at 15 in this Class 3A Region 1 District 2 matchup. As we said in the beginning, Allen County-Scottsville wins, and they're in the playoffs. Warren Central wins, and they win their second straight District 2 title. We keyed on in the open that stopping David Duck was key for Warren Central. They've done that. Stopping Desmond Harris was key for Allen County-Scottsville. They've done that to a point.
To a point, exactly. Both teams have played well on defense, but you had, like you said, it's tied 15. That's 30 points in one half, and both of these teams coming in after Allen County last week only scoring 7. So they've matched last week's points in one half of this week's game. And the keys that I stated at the beginning of the game of stopping both their leading rushers, they've done it to exactly like you said, to a point.
Right.
You can't
Delk had the 40-some-odd yard run.
You take that away, he's had a 2-yard touchdown carry. You know, so they've done it to a point. Those one long runs are the key plays in the game. But that's going to happen. You know, those are things that are just going to happen that you have to come back to the next drive, the next series. So we'll see Warren Central get the ball first in the second half. And see if they can go drive the length of the field just as Allen County did in the first quarter, taking up half the first quarter for their first drive.
First kickoff Central received to the game.
This is what I was saying. Don't know if you folks at home can see the middle line for Warren Central shifts from 5 yards behind the front line to about 15 behind them.
Galliorsa's kick is up. It's going to be received. LaJames Shannon drops it, picks it back up, and he's at his own 20-yard line. He tries to get to the outside. He cuts through 2 tacklers, gets out to about the 25 before he's stopped by a sea of white jerseys.
I tell you, a lot of times on those type of kickoffs or punts, for instance, if the return man does drop the ball, that's a split second where the kickoff team or the punt team is running downfield and they see that. Well, they change their lanes. They move men. You know, the block, they don't get that block. And a lot of times you'll see on a play like that, that could be returned for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And it's because they see that ball on the field and they move their lanes. They drop out of their lanes.
Forster takes the snap and pitch back is to Harris. He picks up about 3 out to his own 28-yard line. 2nd and 8. Warren Central will have it right there.
Could have been close to a face mask penalty. I think he may have just grazed that, but could have added another 5. See, this is what I was talking about in the first half. You come out after first down and you gain 3 and 4 yards. You don't want to gain that 2 yards, come out with a 2nd and 8. Now you're looking at 2nd and a long 5, call it maybe a short 6 there. So that's one of the keys here in the second half that Warren Central is going to need to come out with, as well will Allen County.
2nd and 6 is exactly what they call it. As Forrester, the exact same play, the pitch back to Harris, and he is stopped in the backfield. Desmond Harris is down right there by Tyler Berry, and we've said he's been everywhere all night long. William Pettigo also in on the stop. It's going to be 3rd and 11 for Warren Central, but Jason, they've shown that they're the better passing team of these two teams, and that 11 yards might not be as difficult.
May not. I see that's the thing. They went in towards the end of the first half. That last drive, they threw the ball a few times. They had a few completions. Missed that touchdown catch. But
Leroy Wilson had that ball go right through his fingers.
You come out here, start throwing in the second half. It worked towards the end of the first half.
Well, they hand off to Harris, and he picks up only 3 yards. It's going to be 4th and 8, and Central's going to be forced to punt. Allen County-Scottsville stands to get some pretty good field position right here.
After the looks of Poppy's last punt, Allen County could get this ball in Warren Central territory.
Central in the huddle deciding what they're going to do. Poppy's going to be kicking it away, and as usual, Adam Wanta going to be back to receive the kick for Scottsville. Snap is good. Poppy has the kick up, and it is a line drive, low kick, pretty good. Wanta fielded it at his own 35, got it out to the 41-yard line. That's where he's tackled, but there is a flag on the play.
Casey Dye on that tackle. See what this penalty is.
Interesting to see if this was on Allen County or if this was on Warren Central.
It's thrown backwards a little bit, so looks like it could be blocking the back on Allen County. So that's going to move it back 15 yards.
Now they're going to start with the ball right at about their own 25, right where Central started with the ball at in their first drive of the second half. 9:45 to go here in the third quarter. Still tied at 15, the way we've been for almost an entire quarter's worth of time now. Rick Wood on the sidelines. You see him right there trying to preach to his offensive line right there. You see Todd Kitchen specifically trying to teach to his offense that they needed to have moved the ball right there that first drive of the second half. They didn't do so. Now they have to come up with a defensive stop.
Just under 10 minutes here left in the third quarter. After 1 3 and out for Warren Central. Let's see what Allen County can do. See if they can drive this ball 75 yards and take the lead.
Carter under center. He's got Preston, Hopkins, and Delk behind him. The handoff is to Hopkins. Hopkins finds a hole through the right-hand side of the line. Gets out to about the 31, a gain of about 5, going to be 2nd and 5.
See what defensive coordinator for
Warren Central.
Said to his defensive players during halftime. See what they're going to do. Maybe they may mix their secondary up a little bit. Show some more movement. Try to confuse Allen County's offensive line.
Central comes into the game as the 6th leading team in 3A in points allowed, 11.6. That was a botched play right there. Carter tried to wrap around the left side, and Dewalt was there to stop him.
Lonnell Dewalt's made those big plays all night tonight. He's been that contained man. As like I said earlier in the first half and beginning of the game, you keep that outside linebacker, that defensive end, keep him there for contain, and that diminishes that pitch man. If you keep him on that quarterback, he's either going to have to pitch or he's going to have to lower his head and go right back into the middle of the defensive pack.
3rd and 6, they're calling it. The handoff was to Hopkins right there, I believe. It was, and he gets out around the first down marker. It's all a matter of where they spot it. Looks like he's right at about the 37-yard line. It's close, and they move the chains. First down, Allen County. They pick up a first down here on that first possession of the second half. Important to set that tone for that drive.
Warren Central failed to do that on their first drive of the second half. So let's see. Allen County may be on their way to moving this ball all the way down the field. Granted, it's only been 10 yards now, but, still early in their drive.
Carter under center. He's got Delk behind him. Preston, the man in motion. Looked like it's some movement on the line from Allen County. The call is a false start. Going to push Allen County back 5 yards. Going to be 1st and 15 now from their own 32.
So after that big pickup, and yes, it was close, but they got that first down. So after that big pickup, now they're pushed back 5 more yards. Now they're starting 1st and 15. And I'll tell you what, James, I've seen this a lot now. This game is they have one good series, and then eventually they get a first down. They're pushed back, whether it be 5, 10, and even 15 yards. We saw a 1st and 20. 1st and 25 earlier in the first half. That's not what you want to do.
Carter is under center. The pitch out is to Hopkins. He faked the handoff, ran a little bit of an option there. Hopkins had nowhere to go. Gets tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Going to bring up a 2nd and 15.
DeWalt was there again. We've called his name a number of times tonight. He was there again to push that halfback back inside to the middle of that defensive pack and tackle for a loss.
Brandon Lamberson, the starting nose guard for Warren Central, hobbled off the field. He's laying down on the sideline being attended to by those Central training staff as Carter gets under center for Scottsville. Hopkins, the man in motion behind him, fakes the handoff, play action, pass over the middle, and it is caught by Adam Wanta, the tight end, all the way down to the Central 33-yard line. Wait a minute, they're saying that was Matt Atwood, as there you see Lamberson down on the ground being attended to.
It's a big play. Quarterback laid that ball out there perfect just where the receiver could catch him. No one else threw it to the outside shoulder where the defensive back Harris was, where he could not get to it.
Josh Henderson and his training staff at Warren Central attending to Lamberson on the sideline. He's still down on the ground as Carter approaches the line for Scottsville. Hopkins in motion behind him. Handoff is to Delk. He faked the pitch to Hopkins, and Delk picks up 15 yards inside the 20-yard line to the 17. First down, Allen County-Scottsville.
Carter's been doing a real good job with that fake tonight. He hides that ball real well in that fullback's stomach. He rides that ball in there. Fullback takes it, and he carries out that toss. He carries out that pitch. He carries that fake out real well, and that's what's fooling this Warren Central defense, and that's what's getting these big games. Is they're fooled, and by the time they realize who has the ball, that running back's already past them.
Carter again under center. Once again, a man in motion. It's Preston. The handoff was to Delk. He pushes ahead inside the 5-yard line, right down to the 1-yard line. There was a flag on the play. Interesting to see what that'll be. David Delk with the first down, 16-yard pickup, but will it stand?
David Delk looked like a hoss on that play running. It took 4 and 5 guys to bring him down. He broke one tackle and jumped over another guy. Tell you what, it's going to be a good running back.
Jason Frank, David Delk is a hoss.
Well, yes, he is.
Over 1,150 yards coming into the game on the year. Allen County has the ball on the 1-yard line. Carter takes the snap, and just like before when they had it near a score, he sneaks it. What's the call going to be?
It's like Warren Central stopped them there with less than a yard to go. So it's going to be 2nd and goal now. Probably I'd call that about a half a foot, looks like to me.
2nd and goal again from inside the 1-yard line. The nose of the ball
just barely
only about 6 inches from the goal line here for Allen County. Looking to take the lead for the 3rd time in the game, 15 all. It stands right now with 5:35 to go, 3rd quarter. Carter sneaks, he tries to go over the top. The signal is touchdown.
There is
a flag though.
Well, if this is a defensive penalty, the touchdown will stand, and we will have to see if Warren Central can answer back. Allen County has scored first all 3 times this game so far, and Warren Central's had to answer back.
The conversation going on between the referee and the umpire right there. And all of Allen County-Scottsville hinging on what Danny Saxley has to say in terms of the penalty. Still a matter of some conjecture as to what the call is going to be.
Looks like a penalty that could go both ways, whether they don't know exactly what this penalty could be.
Both teams standing around, and no flag is the call. Touchdown going to stand. 21-15, Allen County in front.
Rick Wood looked a little confused with that one.
Rick Wood,
he waved his hands like, oh, what are you doing? But then he realized, okay, that's all right. We'll get it. We get the ball back. Let's run back down. Here's that swinging gate again, James.
And looks like they're going to bring it back in, let Brian Eaton try for his 2nd extra point of the game. Snap is away. The hold is good. The kick is up, and it is good. 22-15 now with 5:32 to go in the 3rd quarter. Allen County-Scottsville in front here on senior night at Warren Central High School, and the crowd for the Dragons has quieted down considerably.
And that was one of the key factors I mentioned early in the game, is you set that tone, and that they did early. Went in, now granted it was 15 all at halftime, but they come out, hold Warren Central on 3 and out, they punt, and Allen County gets the ball back and runs and goes 75 yards for a score. You looked across the field, Allen County stands over there. They got a little excited. Warren Central side, they got a little quiet. They thinking this could be a game.
Certainly a subdued crowd under the press box here at Dragon Stadium and Joe Hood Field. You saw Rick Wood send his special team, his kickoff return team, out. Interesting to see if that middle line for Central moves back again.
And there they go again. So that maybe curious as to maybe Allen County going to kick an onside kick or something throughout this game.
Gallioris' kick is up over to LaJames Shannon for the 2nd time in this 2nd half. He's out to his own 25. He stopped in his tracks, doubled back, tried to get some more yardage by going to the left side, and ended up losing 3 more yards.
James, I don't know if you saw that play, but number 61 for Warren Central, Wes Anderson, blew Evan Williams up, hit him, and that's what you call pancake block. I don't know if the folks at home saw that, but that's what you call pancake block. And Harris come on to the outside, that may have been the key block. He may have gone all the way on that.
Forrester drops back to pass. He's got Wilson over the right side. Dewalt over the middle is who he goes for. He's in double coverage. It's sandwiched in between two Allen County-Scottsville defenders. Pass is incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Well, Warren Central came out. First play, first down. Throw the ball.
Roll right and throw the ball.
Roll right, throw it. Curious to see what they do. Maybe they'll roll left, go that side, run. You know, you got to mix this up. Like I said, their passing game was working a little earlier.
Right now, Central has their 2 tight ends, Casey Dye and Michael Coles, into the game. Leroy Wilson is the lone wide receiver. Handoff is to Harris. He gets up to the 27-yard line. A pick up a 5. It'll be 3rd and 5 for Warren Central.
Allen County-Scottsville defensive players are over there talking. Maybe they can stir each other up a little bit, getting their call in from the sideline.
Dewalt checks back into the game for Coles. Now going to be 2 wide receivers set on the 3rd and 5. Interesting to see in that middle range. Not necessarily long range, but not 3rd and short. They're both going out to Forrester's left.
Twins left.
Fishburne outside the tight end right there. The pass from Forrester over to Leroy Wilson. Forrester looked like he was hit as he threw up a duck. It could have been anybody's ball. Wilson was the intended receiver. He had him open, but was hit, like I said, hit as he threw. And it's going to bring up 4th and 5, another punting situation for Central.
It's a good play by Allen County's defensive line. It was, in that pass situation, that he only took about a 3-step drop. That looks like it needs to be about a 5-step drop to get that pass off. And had he taken a 5-step drop, he may have gotten that pass off. But Gabe Forrester hobbling off the field. We'll see if we can find out what's wrong.
Forrester limps off the field as Poppy's end-over-end kick is away. Brian Eaton takes it at his own 40-yard line. He's out right to midfield to the Warren Central 48. There was a flag thrown at the end of that play. Right where Adam Wanta, right where Wanta was tackled. Right in that area where it might have been a face mask call. But it's an illegal block in the back on Allen County.
Not for sure, James, but Gabe Forrester looks to be having something on his right side, maybe his arm or shoulder.
The trainers are taking a look at Forrester right here on the sideline. And with Brandon Lamberson starting nose guard for the Dragons already out as we speak for the time being. Two injuries to 2 starters for Central. They can ill afford that, down by 7 right now, especially your starting quarterback.
Not at all. So that may be a big factor in what decides this game. If your starting quarterback goes down or decides not to come back into the game, your backup's cold. You know.
Carter does that same handoff to Delk and then fake pitch again. But Delk went nowhere. He was hit exactly as he got the handoff. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 40-yard line for Allen County-Scottsville. There you see the Warren Central defensive unit picking up the stop. Right now, an interesting secondary for Warren Central. Desmond Harris not in there. You got LaJames Shannon, Nick Wheat, really the rover, that free safety back there, and Shane Green as your left cornerback. Carter under center with Preston in motion. The handoff was to David Delk, and Delk has room to run. He gets past Shane Green. He's down the sideline. LaJames Shannon pushes him out of bounds at the Warren Central 20-yard line. First down, Allen County-Scottsville.
Big play. Harris missed that tackle. His receiver was on him. Made a good block. Delk, as I said earlier, using the official. Well, that time, he used his receiver. His receiver made that good block, pushed him to the to the outside. And Delk just passed right by him.
40-yard gain for Delk gets Allen County just inside Warren Central's 20-yard line. And now they are in a position to widen what is currently a one touchdown lead. Central defense looking to buckle down here, pick up a stop against Allen County. Carter under center, he hands off to Lamont Preston, who pushes ahead, close to another first down. Spotting the ball right inside or outside the Warren Central 10-yard line, about a yard short. 2nd and 1 for Allen County.
Oh, that's pretty close to being a first down.
2nd down and a ball length
If
for
that
Allen
long.
County. Jason, how much can Central not afford for Allen County to score right here?
Well, if you look at it, Warren Central's come up with nothing in their first 2 possessions. They've pumped the ball away twice.
The handoff was to Delkin, that big pitch. He picks up the first down and a couple more.
And
Out to Central's 7-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal from there.
Allen County came out with on their first possession, drove the field to score, went up by 7. Warren Central got the ball on the ensuing drive and came up with nothing. They punted. Well, now we're looking at Allen County again getting ready to score. That hurts Warren Central because now rather than being down by 1 score, now you're down by 2. Now you got to now you really have to believe in your defense. Your defense has to strive to hold Allen County, not just once, but twice, to score twice to get back into this ballgame.
Carter faked the handoff to Delk. He tried to roll right. He was wrapped up there by Kevin Fishburne and Shane Green among other Central tacklers. Kevin Fishburne and Desmond Harris among other Central tacklers. A loss of 1 on the play makes it 2nd and goal.
It's a good stop from defense. Defense makes a good stop here, maybe a tackle for loss. Going to 4th down. Looking at 4th and goal from the 10, 15-yard line. Hold them, kick the field goal, you're only down by 10. That's a little better than 14.
Looks a lot better for Central if Scottsville comes away with a field goal right here. Carter sends Preston in motion. The handoff was to Delk. He gets about 3 yards on the play down to the 6-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal from there.
Now you're looking about 3rd and goal from, they're going to call it 7, 8-yard line. You get a 3-yard stop here. Now Allen County questions themselves to, okay, we've gotten three straight downs and only gained 2 yards of carry. Do we want to risk giving them the ball deep in their own territory and let them drive the field, or do you take a chance to kick a field goal?
The handoff was to Delk. He got down to about the 2-yard line. Interesting call right there by Coach Steve Long. Phillip Carter actually has 9 touchdown passes on the year. He was 27 for 66 for 562 yards coming into the game. On short yardage like that, the 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line, you thought maybe Carter might pass the ball right there. A handoff was to Delk, got down to the 3. Now an interesting 4th down call.
Well, it's 4th down. Looks like they're going to go for it. About 4th and 2. 4th and goal from about the 2, call it between the 2.5 to 3-yard line. See what they do here.
Carter sends Preston in motion. Handoff is to Delk, and he's in for the touchdown. David Delk with his 3rd touchdown of the day for Allen County-Scottsville. Makes it 28-15 for the moment with 31 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter.
So now you're looking at a 14-point lead ensuing this kickoff that they make it, but there's that swinging gate again. That, like I said, I think that's going to be a new thing now. But you're looking at a 14-point lead. Warren Central's defense needs to step up as well as their offense. Defense wins games, but your offense, now that you're 14 points down, your offense needs to come around and get that ball moving. Maybe start that passing game a little bit more. Like I've said and we've seen is their 3 and 4 completions that they've had, they've been a 30-yard gain or a 15-yard gain. Their 49-yard touchdown. The little hitch pass to the left side on Harris. Those are plays that you need to start bringing back out. Those are the plays that, yes, they worked once, try it again. Maybe go for it twice. You need to look, 31 seconds left in this quarter. Now you got 12 minutes left in this game, and you got to get 14 points, as well as holding Allen County's offense.
They essentially have 1 quarter to score twice.
Exactly. With Allen County eating the clock up on their own drives.
Exactly.
They're not going to go in with a 14-point lead. They're not going to go in, obviously, try to score as quickly as possible.
Exactly.
So you need to get that ball back. As Warren Central, your defense, you need to get that ball back, and your offense needs to drive down as quickly as possible to score.
Gallioris with the kickoff. It is away and it is down the center of the field to Desmond Harris, just inside the end zone. He wanted to bring it out very, very badly right there. But the official calls it a touchback. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Still 31 seconds to go in the third quarter. 29-15, Allen County-Scottsville leading. As we said in the open, if they win, they clinch a playoff spot. Central's already clinched a playoff spot, but a win here means the district championship for a second year in a row.
Now we're going to see what Coach Wood does here on offense. And whether he's going to go ahead and start running that ball again or open his offense up and start passing.
Forrester, the pass out to Dewalt. Dewalt has a first down and then some. A pickup of 18 yards to the 38-yard line. Jason, you said it. They needed to start passing the ball a bit more. And right there, Dewalt with the 18-yard pickup on the pass makes it 1st and 10 from their own 38-yard line.
James, I don't know if you saw, but on this side we had Lonnell Dewalt, and on the far side we had Terry Wilson. Those are two 6-foot-plus guys. Those are two guys that have speed and size. Which one do you double team maybe if you're Allen County?
Forrester, the pass out to Dewalt. It is intercepted out of bounds by Jonathan Hopkins right there. Hopkins has an interception on the year, interestingly enough.
That's 2 straight pass attempts, 1 completion, 1 incompletion to Dewalt. So apparently they're making him the go-to guy. But don't be surprised. That's two passes to Dewalt. Don't be surprised if Wilson now on the other side has one thrown to him.
And just as you said that, Michael Cowles comes into the game. Dewalt checks out with just under 5 seconds to go here from their own 38-yard line. 2nd and 10 for Warren Central in the 2 tight end set. Forrester the handoff to Harris. Harris busts through past the 40-yard line to the 41, a pickup of 3, and that brings an end to the third quarter. 29-15, Allen County-Scottsville in front. Warren Central will have a 3rd and 7 from their own 41 when the third quarter gets underway. A reminder to you folks watching right now here on Inside Channel 5, this game between Allen County-Scottsville and Warren Central will be replayed on the 23rd of October. That is, that is Tuesday night at 3:30 and 9:30 p.m. Eastern. 12 minutes left, Jason. What's Warren Central have to do to make up this 14-point deficit?
Warren Central needs to run this field very quickly. They need to open their passing game up as they have the last 2 plays, as you saw to Lonnell Dewalt. 2 pass attempts, 1 completion to him, and it was a 20-yard gain. That's what they need. That's what this Warren Central team needs to do. They need to open up their passing game. They need to score quickly as possible. Then their defense needs to come out and get strong, man up on the offensive line, man up on those receivers, and man up on the quarterback and running backs. Warren Central's defense needs to quickly get that ball turned over and give it right back to the offense and let them score again. Now, Coach Wood's out there right now talking to his offense. Maybe he's telling them right now, look, we're going to start to throw the ball. Maybe he's saying, okay, we're going to mix it up a little bit. We're going to start running a little bit more and throwing a little bit more. We're going to go one back and forth. So we'll see what Warren Central's offense is going to do.
But how much, as a head coach, do you think Rick Wood just kind of sits back and says, look, this is what's worked for us all year, running the ball, using a little bit of option, pretty much running the eye. It'll be interesting to see if maybe he just says we're going to stick to our guns, live by the run, and die by the run.
Well, I think every coach has their philosophy of what they want to do. Probably deep down, he wants to stick with the run. They've run all year. They're going to continue to run. But you're 14 points down with 12 minutes to play, and the last 3 completions that you've had have been big gains. And now you're looking at a 3rd and 12 in your own territory. So I'm thinking if I'm Coach Wood, I'm gonna go ahead and throw the ball. Maybe not a deep route, but an outside route. Maybe a flag route, a corner route, something in the flats, maybe a screen pass, something that's gonna get you the majority of your yards very quickly.
3rd and 12 from their own 36. Forrester under center with Wilson. Motion behind him. Rolls to his left. Cuts underneath. Gets out to only the 40-yard line. A pickup of 4. brings up a 4th down, and Warren Central is going to be forced to punt here to open the 4th quarter.
And as I said, this is not good for Warren Central. Starting off in the first quarter, in their first series here in the first quarter, and they're forced to punt. After a 20-yard gain on a pass, they run a short run and come up short along the 4th and 9. High snap.
High snap there. Poppy still gets the kick away. It's a low line drive that Adam Wanta gets away from it. There was a block and there was a push in the back right there by Shane Green as he downs the ball. A little bit of frustration coming out.
Little frustration. I don't see a flag needing to be thrown on that play, as there wasn't. There was no return man there to risk taking that ball for a touchdown or a big gain. And so it's what a lot of times the officials look at is, did that play, did that block, did that hold affect the result of that play? And that's what determines whether that flag's gonna be thrown. And like I said, there was no return man to pick that ball up. No need to throw that flag.
From their own 27, 1st and 10, Allen County-Scottsville, 11-17 to go in the game. They're up 14. Carter underneath, gets Hopkins in motion. Handoff is to Delk. He fakes the pitch to Hopkins afterwards. Delk
looked like a ping pong ball, and they're bouncing around off guys. And after the last guy that hit him, he still gained another 3-4 yards. So we're looking at a 2nd and long 4 here for Allen County.
2nd and long 4. Delk, just like you said, looked just like a pinball, got pinged around right in there, then dove forward for an extra 3.
That's that low center of gravity that I spoke about earlier. He gets hit around, he's got that low center of gravity, and he's going to bounce around and jump forward for those few extra yards. Every extra yard helps.
Most importantly for Scottsville, the clock continues to run. Carter under center gets Hopkins in motion. Fake handoff to Delk. The pitch is to Hopkins. Hopkins, helmet to helmet. He just goes right at Shane Green right there after he picks up the 1st down. The gain of 10 on the play. 1st down and 10 for Allen County-Scottsville at their own 42-yard line. There you see Shane Green, who came up with the tackle on the play. He's got to be a little bit frustrated with the way his defense, that he's a leader of in the secondary, and then the offense that he's performed so great for this year as the backup tailback to Desmond Harris. He's got to be a little bit frustrated with how both of them are performing tonight.
How about early in the game? Harris's touchdown. Called back.
On
the
that
game.
kickoff. Oh,
the game.
And so did the punt that Harris and Green fumbled collectively.
Because
handoff right there to Lamont Preston. The ball is loose, and it looks like Casey Dye jumped on it.
Well, there we go.
Warren Central.
There's the turnover that I spoke about that Warren Central's defense needed to get. Now let's see what Warren Central's offense can do, whether they can get down the field and score.
It was Casey Dye. That's his 2nd recovered fumble on the year. He is the anchor of this Warren Central offense. 72 tackles coming into the game on the year. That leads the team. 8 tackles for loss coming into the game on the year. That leads the team. He's a senior, and he is the son of Principal Barry Dye here at Warren Central High School. Proud Papa watches his son play his last regular season home game. Puts the Warren Central offense back on the field at their own, or at the Allen County-Scottsville 46-yard line with an opportunity to work. The pass is right out to Lonnell Dewalt. He's hit immediately after he catches it. A gain of only about 2 or 3. But there was a flag on the play.
It's a gang of Patriots there on that tackle.
Let's see what the call was on that flag right there that was thrown behind the line of scrimmage. It was a false start, so the play's erased anyway.
Just a thought. That's got to be kind of weird for Casey Dye, going to school, same school his dad's a principal at. Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Oh.
You don't see too much of that, two things of that too often. Wonder if they ride together to school. You know how kids are. I don't want to be seen, but I'm sure that's different.
Yeah.
Father and son.
Well, and I'm sure it's got its good points and its bad points as well.
Yeah, I go to class and say, I'm the principal's son. I couldn't do that.
Oh, you're Mr. Dye's son, Casey. I know you.
I'll have a talk with your dad then.
Yeah.
No,
you don't have to worry about him calling your parents.
Hey, oh no, not at all. He would just walk right in, and we're not talking about Casey in particular.
No,
we're just
not at all.
We're just speaking of in the sense that if your father was the principal of your school or the president of your university,
which Patrick Ransdell knows a little something about over at Western Kentucky.
That he does.
First down and 30 for Warren Central from their own 34-yard line. 2 penalties on that play, both of the 10-yard variety.
So we're looking at a long,
or excuse me, a 5-yard penalty on the false start and then a 15-yard penalty.
We're looking
Substitutions
at a long
all over the place as Lonnell Dewalt checks in. Leroy Wilson comes out for Central. First and 30 here with 9:47 to go in the fourth quarter, down 29-15. Dewalt out towards you on your screen. Forrester's right. Across his body, Forrester had to throw that ball. He rolls left and then throws across his body. Didn't have enough cheese on it to get it to Dewalt. He couldn't come up with it on the dive, and now it's 2nd and 30.
Dewalt looked like he tried to come back on that ball, and he just lost his feet underneath him. Tell you what, that Forrester puts a little more oomph on that pass. Dewalt catches that, he's going to gain that first down.
And this is interesting, Jason, with the 2nd and 30, definitely a passing situation. Why does a team who only usually plays 2 wide receivers sub one in for the other?
That's
the long pass attempt right here. Leroy Wilson over the top. He's grabbed by his jersey. That grab on the jersey right there. And then he fumbled the football. Allen County-Scottsville comes away with it. It's going to be first down, Allen County.
That's a gain of 40.
Well, the official threw the marker down as if the ball was fumbled. Now they're saying he was down by contact. It's a first down, Warren Central from the Allen County 25-yard line.
So, as I've said many a time so far, Warren Central's offense needs to open it up by throwing. They're going with the quick offense.
They're going with the no huddle. The pitch out immediately is to Shane Green. He's around the left side. He is yanked down by Nick Gallioris out of the defensive end spot. Getting happy. Look at him right there. And the Central player down is Casey Dye. He's back up. Not really sure what's wrong with Casey Dye. He looks like he's not even questioning it. He wants to stay in the game. He goes right to the huddle.
He doesn't want to come out. This is a bit his
definitely not.
This is his last home game. Well, he's on his way out now, but this is his last home game. He wants to.
He's holding that left arm close to his body. Michael Cole subs in the game for him. And now 2 receivers to Forrester's left. Tried the fade right there to Leroy Wilson. Hit the pylon right at the end zone, the goal marker. Incomplete pass brings up 3rd and 6.
That's a good route by Wilson and also a good pass by Forrester. He put that ball only where Wilson could get to it. No defender could, but he just put too much on it, just a little too far out there.
Now Dewalt and Wilson both in. Still go to opposite sides again. Forrester has Fishburne and Desmond Harris behind him. He drops back to pass. He's looking both ways, and he gets it to Desmond Harris in the flat. Harris breaks a couple tackles and gets the first down. Desmond Harris with a gutsy play from the junior halfback right there. Gets it down to the Allen County-Scottsville 12, picks up the first down.
That's one of those plays that Casey Dye looked at on the sideline, closest to us.
Forrester, the handoff is to Harris. Harris around the left-hand side. He's hit initially by Tyler Berry, who slows him up, but he still gets up to the 6-yard line, a pickup of about 5. He'll bring up 2nd and 5.
I was saying Casey Dye has been looked at by the trainers here on the Warren Central sideline. Like I said before, this is his last home game. This is his senior year. This is his last game here on this field during the regular season. He wants back in this game. He's saying, just let me play.
Forrester rolling to his right. Takes a long drop back. The pass is to Dewalt. Touchdown! Gabe Forrester with the 6-yard touchdown pass to Lonnell Dewalt. And all of a sudden, Warren Central is back in this football game.
Casey Dye is back on the field for this extra point. May be something a little different here, you know. It's still early in this game. And now Warren Central's going to go with a little type of swinging game. They're going to huddle over here on the left sideline along the left hash.
There was a roughing the passer call on Allen County-Scottsville.
And they're probably going to take this on the kickoff. They'll put this penalty on the kickoff.
Kevin Fishburne telling the official where they want it at. Rick Wood coming out on the field as well. Personal foul, roughing the passer on Allen County-Scottsville once again. Did you see the call? They decline it.
Touchdown was good.
Touchdown. Was there ever any doubt they'd take the touchdown on that play?
Not at all. Well, it looks like since they declined it,
that there won't be a penalty
There
at
will
all.
be no penalty. Had they accepted it, they still would have scored, and then the penalty would have been enforced on the extra point or the kickoff. Now there's two ways you can look at that. You can take the penalty on the extra point, move half the distance. Now you're looking at 1.5 yards rather than 3 yards. You could run that 2-point conversion.
The hold by Weed is up. The hold by Weed is good. The kick by Poppy is up, and it is good. Daniel Poppy once again converting on the extra point attempt, now 35 of 39 on the year. And Warren Central is within 7 with 8:02 to go. 29-22.
Well, now, again, back to what I said earlier. Warren Central's defense, needs to stop Allen County's offense. Warren Central needs another turnover. Need another turnover, drive the field. We got 8 minutes left. That's plenty of time for both teams to score. It's basically going to come down to maybe if Warren Central scores here on their next possession, it'll come down who scores last.
Oh yeah. Daniel Poppy's been using the squib kick on his kickoffs all night long. Interesting to see if this might be that time when that squib kick causes a little bit of problems in handling for Allen County-Scottsville. Preston, Delk, and Hopkins once again back.
There's a squib kick.
Squib kick is picked up by David Delk. He bobbles it, but gets it at his own 15. Takes it out the left side, barrels through out to his own 30-yard line. Nick Conley comes out of there waving his hands as if to say, no way, not gonna happen.
Yeah,
and Allen County-Scottsville takes over on a key defensive possession for Warren Central.
Well, we're looking at 70 yards that Allen County's got to work with here against Warren Central's defense. Warren Central's defense needs to step up here a little bit. Hold Allen County, force a punt, force a fumble, pick a pass off. We need to do something here to get this ball back and return, score again.
Carter still under center with Delk behind him, sends Hopkins in motion. Handoff is to Delk. He fakes that pitch to Hopkins again, but Delk only gets about 1 yard or two. He's 2nd and 9 for Allen County.
I think Warren Central now finally in the 4th quarter. Now we're looking at a 2nd and 9. I think Warren Central's defense is finally starting to realize that, hey, he's swinging out there a whole lot of way. He's not going to have that ball. So Warren Central started to pick up on them. We'll see if what determines because of that.
Kevin Fishburne came up with a stop there for Warren Central. Carter under center again. Delk behind him. Sends Hopkins in motion. We've been saying it all night long. Handoff is to Delk. Fumble. Warren Central saying they
got it.
They move through the pile. And Warren Central does have it. It was Stephen Haley. The starting defensive tackle for Warren Central comes up with the football on senior night here. How appropriate that a junior comes up with the big defensive play.
And not 30 seconds earlier did I just say, Warren Central's defense needs to step up and force a fumble, force a punt, or intercept the pass. And sure enough, now they're in Allen County territory.
Definitely interesting here to see if they'll go back to the air, go back to the bread and butter, or go back to what worked so well on the last drive.
And with 7 minutes left in the game, down by 7, you go for 2, depending on how long this drive takes.
Handoff is to Harris. He's hit after he gets a couple down to the 31-yard line. Going to be 2nd and 6. 2nd and 7, excuse me, with 7 minutes to go now, 29-22. 2nd down and 8 now they're calling it. First it was 6 by me, then it was 7 by me, now it's 8 officially.
Well, that's short 8, I guess, I could say.
Looks like a little bit more than 2 yards between that marker.
Down marker and
And now it's Forrester who drops back. He rolls to his left, throws to Kevin Fishburne, and Fishburne's knocked out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
Out of bounds is good. They stops the clock, gives them more time to set their offense.
And gives them a first down. 1st and 10 now with 6.5 minutes left. Central driving down 7.
Allen County.
Allen County-Scottsville calls a timeout. Gives us a chance to remind you that this game will be replayed tomorrow night right here on Insight Channel 5 at 3:30 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. Only here can you catch the Allen County-Scottsville Patriots and Warren Central High School Dragons one more time here on Insight Communications, Cable Channel 5. And Jason, we see Rick Wood there, coach of Warren Central, out in the middle of the field meeting with his team. They're tired. You see Dewalt has his hands on his hips right there. They're ready. Are they going to put the ball in the end zone? What are they going to have to do it? They've got the momentum going in their favor. They're at home. It's senior night. A win clinches the district title. They're down 7. They've got to score here. What are they going to do?
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know if you folks at home can hear the Dragons fans here just below us. They're screaming Dragons. And I think now that Warren Central has realized that they can throw the ball, I think that's what they're going to end up doing. They just picked up a 15, 20-yard gain on the pass out of bounds to stop the clock. So I think now they realize, hey, we can throw the ball against this team. Granted, we're a running team, but our passing is working a little bit more than our running right now.
Yeah.
And we're down by 7. So I think they're going to go and, well, they're going to pitch the ball.
They're going to go and pitch it out to Harris. He goes out the right side. He's got room to run. Desmond Harris, touchdown.
Well, I was wrong. So they run the ball, but they score anyway.
But they score.
So it is 28-29. Now what do you do? This is a big question. There's still 6.5 minutes left in this game. Do you go for the, now granted, nothing is automatic. Do you go for the 1, which is a sure thing, or do you go for do you risk it and go for the 2 and hope that your defense can force another fumble?
Well, it looks like right here, unless there's a botched play, Nick Wheat's going to hold, and Daniel Poppy's going to kick for 1 to tie the game at 29. Desmond Harris, his second touchdown of the day. The kick is up. It is good.
Okay.
29 all.
29 all.
New ball game. Warren Central scores 14 points in the last 7 minutes. Makes it 29 all with 6:22 to go. You said what they needed to do when Allen County got the ball back was come up with a big play, maybe a turnover. They get that turnover. Stephen Haley falls on the ball for Warren Central. They take it to 35 yards. Desmond Harris doing what they've expected to do all season long. He's the 5th leading rusher in single A. He's the 4th leading scorer, or the 5th leading rusher in 3A. He's the 4th leading scorer in 3A. He comes up with a 20-yard run for the touchdown. Give him 14 points on the night. What more can you say?
Well, I'll tell you what, could possibly, to pull something out, could look for an onside kick here. Wouldn't expect it, but wouldn't be surprised if you see it either. 6.5 minutes now left in this game, tied at 29 apiece. There's another squib kick.
Delk picks it up off the short hop at his own 15. He's hit and dropped at his own 24-yard line. And that's where Allen County-Scottsville will take over. 6:15 to go.
Looked to me like Warren Central's kickoff coverage there. That's the shortest return Delk has had all evening on a kickoff. So looks to me like they're in this now. They're minded and they're realizing, hey, this is our last regular season home game. We're going to win this game for our seniors.
Central is roaring and ready to go. Chanting defense are the Dragon fans here underneath us. As Allen County-Scottsville approaches the line, they've shown the ability to hold the ball for this length of time, 6:15 to be exact. As Carter goes under center with Delk, Preston, and Hopkins behind him. Handoff, fake handoff to Delk. Carter goes around the left side, out to the 30-yard line, and pick up a 5. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Warren Central's defense, well, you go with Allen County's offense. Now they know that this ball game is tied up at 29 with just under 6 minutes. They're not going to risk throwing an interception here, so chances are they're not going to throw. Besides, an incomplete pass would stop the clock. They're going to run, and they're going to hold on to that ball very tightly. Look for Warren Central's defense to come up with a big play regardless. They're in this game for their seniors, for their last home game.
Right there, Carter gave the ball off to Delk. He picked up 7 out to the 37-yard line. Now another first down for Allen County. And as soon as they set the chains, the clock starts moving. 5:31 to go. We are Dragons is the chant right now from the Warren Central
That's what I was
crowd.
just going to say is hometown fans are
Trying to
get their defense motivated, cause another turnover.
Carter takes the snap, hands off to Delk. Delk roars forward for 8 more, out to the 45-yard line now. 2nd and 2, and the clock still keeps running for Allen County. This is a good thing. Rick Wood talking with his defensive staff about what they should do now. Going to call it 2nd and 3 for Allen County.
Delk pops through that offensive line very quickly. Gets him through the line, across the line of scrimmage very quickly, and hops over that first defender. Gains actually a couple of yards every time because of that.
Carter underneath. Hand off to Delk. Delk goes forward. And almost like clockwork, 8 more yards out to the Warren Central 47. Another first down with 4.5 minutes to go. And the clock's going to start again as soon as they get those chains set. Allen County doing an effective job of milking the clock, moving the ball up the field.
Like I said, no, chances are you're not going to see any passing by Allen County here the last couple of minutes of this ball game. They don't want to take that chance. They want to eat that clock up. They still have a chance to maybe run this clock all the way down and kick a field goal if they don't score a touchdown.
4:14 to go. The handoff was not to Delk. It's a fumble.
And there it goes again. And it's Warren Central ball.
Warren Central comes up with the ball. That was Lonnell Dewalt that got around and got a hit. Knocked the ball loose from Phillip Carter. He's been coming up big all night long on offense as a receiver. There he comes up with by far the biggest defensive play of the night on either side of the football.
Dewalt came backside of Forrester. Came backside, and as Carter pitched that ball out, Dewalt reached up and knocked that ball out.
Now Forrester with the pitch to Desmond Harris. Desmond Harris around the left-hand side. He's wrapped up at his own 47-yard line, but picks up 7 before that happens. The clock keeps running now. 3:55 to go. It'll be 2nd and 3 for Warren Central.
We got the Warren Central fans on their feet standing below us, and down to the right side of the stands of Warren Central side, the drum line is doing their little drum, I guess you could call it a drum line thing. They're trying to get the Warren Central offense riled up here for a score. 2nd and 2.
Forrester under center now. Wilson is his receiver. He fakes the handoff. The quarterback draw is close to a first down.
That's that draw play that he scored on for 49 yards in the first half.
They don't even question it. They call it a first down. And where the spot is, the officials are actually going to call for a measurement.
Yes, and they will call for a measurement.
Officials timeout.
I'll tell you what, that's
right now. This is a key measurement.
That's a very well, not necessarily, not also is that a key measurement, but this is a very good call by Coach Wood. He may, whether that's a first down or not, he looks at this and goes, hey, I've got the time that it takes that chain crew to come all the way across the field, measure it, go all the way back. If it's not a first down, it's still a third down.
If it's not a first down, he has the time to set up a play.
He's got time to think about what play he wants to run. But it's a first down anyway.
First down by the entire length of the football.
Exactly. But like I said, that Coach Wood made a good decision by calling for that measurement. He gave his offense a chance to rest, catch a quick breather, and set up this next play. So it looked for a big play on this drive right here.
3:22 to go. The clock is running. First down for Warren Central at the 40-yard line of Allen County-Scottsville. Forrester is under center. The handoff is to Harris. Harris around the left-hand side. He's up the sideline, down to the 32-yard line, out of bounds. 3:07 to go. Now it's 2nd and 8.
Poppy on the sidelines warming up. Hey, this is going through kicker's mind right now. Everybody wants to go and talk to him and say, hey, this could be up to you. And speaking from a kicker, I know that right now he's saying, guys, just let me be. You know, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. Let me be. So he's warming up, but hopefully Warren Central offense can get a touchdown out of this.
Harris pushes a forward of the handoff through the left-hand side for the first down. Out to the Allen County-Scottsville 28-yard line with 2:39 to go.
Back to Poppy. There's mixed emotions in the kicker's mind at this point, this juncture in the ball game, with just around 2.5 minutes. You want to be that go-to man. You want to make that. You want to kick that winning field goal. But also, there's a little bit in there that says, "Wow, if I miss though, we could lose or we could tie." So there's mixed emotions in there. But granted, Poppy's got a 29-29 ball game, so he's got a lot to deal with.
The handoff is to Harris. Harris
One.
gets tripped up at the 21-yard line. 3 straight handoffs to Harris 3 straight times. He's picked up nice yardage for Warren Central. 2nd and 3 now as 2:10 to go, and the clock continues to run.
James, an arm tackle away from scoring a touchdown.
Arm tackle away perhaps from winning the game for Desmond Harris right there.
I'd tell you, I would go to those 3 guys that we've mentioned all night. Those are your go-to players.
The handoff is to Harris again, and Nick Gallioris grabs him by the jersey, brings him down almost for no gain, but the clock continues to run. Now 1:43 to go. 3rd and 3. Warren Central's going to have from the Allen County 21.
Now you're going to look here, less than a minute, just coming up on a minute and a half of this ball game. Warren Central's got a big decision to make. They can call timeout. Right now they're looking at 3rd and 3, third and a short 3 from the 20. They can run this clock out and score on the last possible play, or go in and score right away. Big decision there.
Allen County-Scottsville showing blitz, and
They're gonna
Forrester comes
timeout.
up and calls timeout with 1:19 left.
Back to that, like I was saying, Warren Central has 1:19 to score. You have 2 decisions to make here as Coach Wood. You can, 1, take that 1:19 and drag it out. Get as close to that end zone as you possibly can without going in until the last second. Take the lead and leave no time on the clock for Allen County. Or you get 1 good play. You run it in, you waste 9-10 seconds, and you leave Allen County with a minute and trust in your defense that they can hold it. So you got to look at it. Both of them have their advantages and disadvantages. This is what Coach Wood is a coach for. He's going to make the right decision.
Allen County-Scottsville, I believe, still has 2 timeouts left. You see Shane Green and Desmond Harris both in the game right now, as well as Leroy Wilson going to be the wide receiver out there for Warren Central. Rick Wood, the coach of the Warren Central Dragons, in the huddle here on this timeout, telling his offense exactly what he wants them to do. Time is back in for the play clock to start on this 3rd and 3. 1:19 to go. As we said, these 2 teams tied at 29. Forrester, the pitch to Harris. Harris, grabbed by the jersey by Gallioris again, gets very close to a first down. Gallioris got the initial hit in there on Desmond Harris. The clock continues to run, and
Looks
will
like
tick.
they're going to take an official timeout to measure. Again, this leaves Coach Wood. Now you're at 1:04. This leaves Coach Wood another opportunity to think, what play do I want to run? This gives his offense a chance to catch a breather. This gives his offense a chance to think about what exact play they want to run.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jason, right now from where I sit, that ball looks a little short of the first down, and if it is, it brings up a 4th and 1 and a critical call. Do you let your kicker kick what would end up being about a 36-yard field goal? And in high school, a 36-yard field goal is lengthy. It drags the chains out.
And they say it's about a yard
About
short.
a yard short.
Now, this is a big decision in Coach Wood. There's 1:04 left. Now, Poppy goes in. He kicks the field goal. He makes it. They're up by 3. You'll be left with a minute on the clock for Allen County to do something with the ball. Whether they run back down the field and score a touchdown, or they go back down the field and kick a game-tying field goal. Or Poppy goes out, he misses the field goal. Then that would force an overtime if within that last minute of this ball game, Allen County cannot score. So there's 2 different decisions, again, the Coach Wood will make. Timeout for Allen County-Scottsville.
And they're going to decide what to do. Rick Wood talking to Daniel Poppy and
Poppy's
Nick Wheat,
waking
the kicker and holder respectively. Daniel Poppy comes into the game with only one field goal to his credit on the year, but as we alluded to in the first half, he kicked the ball on an extra point out of Dragon Field, over the fence behind the field, over the track, and over the fence behind it. So he probably has the range to kick a 36-yarder.
And there are no flags moving in the stadium right now, so wind will not be a factor. This will line up to be a 36.5-yard field goal.
And Poppy gets down,
Thinking,
looks at where he's at.
lining it up with exactly what he needs.
Maybe
Don't be surprised.
prayer.
Don't be surprised if Allen County, if they have another timeout, if they don't call it here. That's one thing that coaches like to do is they take an extra timeout. They waste that time. They try to get in that kicker's head. But the secret to that is sometimes kickers like that. Sometimes kickers like that extra 30 seconds, extra 20 seconds. They like that time where, hey, you're trying to psych me out, but guess what? All you're doing is giving me more time to think about it. And that's all I need because I'm going to make it. I'll tell you what, though. Poppy does have leg to make this field goal. See what he does here.
No doubt he has the leg to make it. Nick Wheat is the holder. The hold is down. The kick is up. It is good. And I'll tell you what, Jason, right there we saw the hold on that was not the best. The laces were in right there.
You can tell by the way the
underneath and the ball
helicopters. You can tell by the ball of where those laces were. They were not out. Kickers like laces facing towards the uprights, which way it's going to go, because that's the way the ball sails the best. Those laces were faced to the left. You could tell by the circulation of the ball, the rotation of it, it helicoptered to the left, which means those laces were pointed in. So now we're at a 30. Exactly. Now we're at a 32-29 lead with just under a minute for Warren Central. James, what are you looking at for Warren Central to do here in this situation? Are you thinking, if you're Warren Central's head coach, or even if you're Coach Wood, are you thinking, I'm going to put 5 DBs in there because I believe they're going to throw the ball, or are you going to stack your defensive line?
As we mentioned, Phillip Carter has 9 touchdown passes on the year. His completion percentage is not the best. It's only 27 of 66, but he does have 562 yards passing. The leading receiver, one of the leading receivers for Allen County is out. Brandon Sloan, 6 receptions for 150 yards on the year, 6 touchdowns out of the game. Nick Poppy the kick, Lamont Preston the field at the 10-yard line. He's at his own 20. He has room to run. He gets up the middle, out to his own 37-yard line, and that's where Allen County will take over with 53 seconds left on the clock.
53 seconds left to drive 63 yards. It's possible, very possible. But the fact with Allen County is they have no timeouts remaining.
Allen County's leading receiver on the season is Lamont Preston, 7 catches for 164 yards, 4 touchdowns. If they're going to throw the ball, you've got to look for them to go to him. Brian Eaton is out to Carter's left. Hopkins in motion. Puts Eaton in the slot. Hopkins all the way out to the wide. And Lonnell Dewalt, who else to come up with that sack right there of Phillip Carter? A loss of 2 on the play. Make that 3 on the play. And the clock continues to run before Allen County-Scottsville takes their final timeout.
This will be their final timeout. I was mistaken. So it's still 40 seconds left.
Brian Eaton was 0 for 1 on field goals last week at Bowling Green. Missed a field goal of under 25 yards. Right now, to get him in field goal range, it looks like Scottsville's probably going to have to get another 60 yards.
At least.
About another 60 yards. That put him right in that 20 to 25 range. Maybe 55 would do it if you're Allen County. But regardless, they're probably still going to have to begin to throw the ball. In addition to Preston, Adam Wanta has 7 catches, 2 touchdowns, 137 yards receiving. After that, it becomes a little thin in receptions for Allen County. David Delk is 4 for 60. He's only got 1 receiving touchdown. Brian Eaton, the wide receiver that Allen County has in the game, does not have a catch on the season. Carter rolls out, looks over the middle. Adam Wanta has the ball. He gets out of bounds. at the Warren Central 41.
Warren Central defense
3
is taking,
seconds to go.
Warren Central's defense is taking a little precaution there. Quarterback Phillip Carter had a lot of time back there, a lot of time to get rid of that ball. He dropped back in the pocket, hopped a couple of times, got rid of that ball perfectly past that to Wanta. But Warren Central's defense needs to take that chance. Screen those ends in. Bring those corners up. Take that chance. If you get beat on a pass, but you need to take that chance.
The pitch is Lamont Preston. Preston trying to get around to the left. And he gets out of bounds at the Warren Central 33-yard line. A pickup of 7, but 9 seconds ran off the clock on that play.
Those speedsters. They're going to try to avoid the people who definitely could hurt them right now by returning a kickoff for a touchdown. So look for them to put the ball on the ground. They're going to squib kick it. They're going to do something so that Warren Central does not have that chance to lay the ball, to run this back. Look, like I said, look for a squib kick. Possibly even you could risk it, kick it out of bounds, and Warren Central would get it on the 35, but no one would have the opportunity to run it back.
Definitely.
You know it's happened earlier in the game, so why risk that? But or even a short kick, a line drive right at one of the front linemen, or a high pooch kick to the middle line. Watch something different. It's not going to be a deep kick.
Squib kick right there. It's the Central player right in the chest. 13 seconds left on the clock.
Well, there's your
19
kick on the ground, and it dropped a couple of seconds off the clock because the middle linebacker down back there didn't know where it was.
And
so now you're down
Scott
to 13.
Webb initially.
Now you got 13 seconds left, and we're looking at a 66-yard drive. We've got to go here in 13 seconds.
Warren Central has to go 65 yards in 14 seconds in order to win the football game. They have Wilson and Dewalt out to Forrester's right. Fishburne out to Forrester's right. Harris is behind. Forrester, the screen pass, out.
Double pass. And there's
The
the
pass is to DeWalt. 6.1 seconds to go.
6 seconds
I'll
left.
tell you what, Jason, that was Brock Whitney. Forrester threw the screen pass to Brock
That's a
Whitney.
backup quarterback there.
That is.
Went out in motion.
Forrester's backup quarterback, a 6'2", 170-pound sophomore. Coming in, it's the first play he's been in the game, and Central
We'll call a timeout.
will call a timeout after picking up 40 yards on that pass play. Brock Whitney to Lonnell Dewalt.
That's a great play called by Coach Wood. You don't expect it. And those are the things, those are the types of plays that are going to happen, the plays that you don't expect at the best time. You have twins right on that play. Then you have a man running motion to the right. He's your protection. He gives Whitney the time to throw that ball, to get that ball out there to DeWalt. DeWalt ran a post pattern, a deep post pattern, all the way, a post pattern that would normally not be run that far. Came between midfield, and if there were hash marks here, he would have ran right to those hash marks on this side of the field. You can barely see them, but so you throw backwards pass to a backup quarterback, and then all the way across the field. That's a great play.
Rick Wood out there talking with his team. Now all of a sudden that goes from 65 to only having 25 yards to go, but 6 seconds left to do it. 1, maybe 2 shots into the end zone if you're Warren Central right here. A passing play, if they're going to get 2, cannot take a long time to develop right here at all. Unless they want to get the ball out in the flat to Harris, let him get out of bounds. It looks like this is going to be the last play of the game. It is 36-32. Forrester drops back. Over the top. DeWalt is up. Catches it. Down at the 1-yard line.
And no time
my
left on the
goodness.
clock. No time left on
No
the clock.
time left as Lonnell Dewalt catches a 24-yard pass as time expires down to the 1-yard line. Wow.
That was a great
That
play.
is absolutely amazing.
Comes down to the wire. DeWalt makes a great acrobatic
The game
catch.
is over, and
Got
Allen
all the way up
County-Scottsville is in the playoffs in one of the most exciting 3A Region 1 District 2 games of the season. Allen County-Scottsville comes to Warren Central on senior night and wins 36 to 32. 36 to 32. Allen County-Scottsville comes out in front. And Jason, who would have thought that these two teams running the ball both have 1,000-yard rushers, and it all came down those last two drives to the pass.
Well, I said earlier in the keys to the game, we said that Allen County would have to stop Warren Central's leading rusher. And Warren Central's defense would have to stop Allen County's leading rusher. And they did that to an extent. Both of those guys had close to or more than a 100-yard game to their average, but that didn't affect the outcome of this game. The turnout of this game came from passing. Two teams which are not normally known for passing. And come to find out, they can pass. Not a whole lot, but they can, and they did, and that's how Allen County won this game.
And now Allen County-Scottsville, after a disappointing last-second loss at Bowling Green last week, picks up a last-second win this week at Warren Central, and Allen County-Scottsville's in the playoffs. Warren Central travels to Franklin-Simpson next week.